Hey, how's it going? It's Gray from Wakizashi's Teahouse over Japan. I hope you're good. I hope you're Genki. Oh, it's here at last. I've been looking forward to this comic all month pretty much. Finally, it's here. We've got Big Game issue 5, the conclusion, the finale to the crossover event of the summer and the autumn too, mate. Mark Millar writes it, of course. It's got next level, absolutely mind-blowing art yet again by Pepe Larraz. This is actually a higher price because it's a double-sized issue. You get a bumper-sized issue for the finale, and I tell you what, you've got to go out there and get one. You've got to get a physical copy if you can. But just let me point out, it is $7.99 for this, but it's worth every penny. When you compare it to what's been put out for like $6, $7, $8, $9 recently, there's no comparison. This is I tell you what, it's a 9.5 out of 10 for me. I'm giving me score early on, as you can tell. I'm still buzzing from this comic. I've read it through 3 times now, and there's still things that I've missed. There's so much going on in this issue. It's such a good conclusion. It left me feeling great, just feeling really good. Like it's made my day, probably made me weak. You know, I've got a boring life. I'm a stupid old comic book fan. Look at me. But yeah, I tell you, I had a blast with this. Really, really good feeling from this comic book. And yeah, at first I was a little bit worried. I thought this has been really hyped up, you know, by myself as well. Can it deliver? Can Mark Millar deliver? And I got to say, he's done it. He's done it. He's surprised even me. Really has. You know, and I've been here for a long time. And I'm surprisingly, even though I come across as very positive in my reviews, because I mainly talk about things I really like, I'm quite cynical in my older age. So there we go. But yeah, I don't know what even to say without spoiling things, but it is a cracking finish. It's a cracking finale. So many characters in this, Millarworld characters. If you're like me, you haven't read, you know, so many of Mark Millar's works, doesn't matter. You'll still enjoy this comic book because if you've been reading it from issue 1, he's done enough to set up these characters, to set up this story, and to deliver where it counts. But hey, did I mention Pepe Larraz? I think I did already, like 2 or 3 times. The art in this issue, I think it's the best yet. And I've been raving about it since issue 1. The way that Larraz draws Millar's different characters, and in this issue in particular, there are some stunning action scenes, some great double-page spreads. There's so much going on, so much detail. As I say, I'm in Japan and I have to kind of make do with digital copies, but if I can get a physical copy of this, I will. And if I can't get the individual issue, what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy the trade when it comes out. I think it's getting released, maybe, if we're lucky, it might even be December, or it could be early next year, it could be January. So what's left to say? Go out and buy this book. If you've not been reading the series, go out and buy the first 4 issues and then buy this. Just absolutely next level. Great comic book entertainment. This is what comics are. This is what they should be. This is what it's all about. This is, you know, rekindling the love of comics in many people. Seriously, a lot of cynical people out there, they're really falling for this series. Okay, there we go. That was my enthusiastic, unscripted stream of consciousness intro to my review. What I'm going to do, as usual, I'm going to give a story summary, but don't worry. I mean, some people don't like this, but I don't give spoilers. I'm not going to spoil this at all. I'm not going to show the whole thing. I'm going to show the opening few pages, and then I'm going to talk about what I like, and I'll show little glimpses of some of the pages later on, but I do give warnings, and again, I don't give any major spoilers because that would be unfair. That would suck, pretty much. Okay, so if you want to see some of the art from inside, if you want to hear Gray getting excited yet again, please keep watching. Here we go. Man, I hardly know where to begin, but hey, the best place to start is right at the beginning, right? If you've been keeping up with this series, the end of issue 4, last issue, we saw Diabolos the Sorcerer, on behalf of King Morax, has travelled millions of years through time to reclaim Earth. He's brought with him this huge spacefaring army, and now we see, in the opening page of this new issue, we see scenes of Singapore, Moscow, New York, and Diabolos on the screens there saying, "I seek an audience with your planet's ruler. Can you guess who the ruler is?" He strides nonchalantly out of the building to confront the Space Force, lighting a cigarette as he goes. "Ah, Wesley Gibson, the secret Lord of Earth. Who knew, right? It seems here that Gibson is the world's one true master." Diabolos introduces himself, telling Gibson that he's been charged by King Morax with conquering new territories. He takes a look at Gibson's team and decides that, yeah, okay, this battle is not going to be without casualties. Does he really want to fight? The sorcerer asks Gibson if he really does this all for pleasure. Gibson's reply, "Want to go back for reinforcements?" But as they're talking, and as Gibson's admitting that, hey, come on, we don't really need to fight, do we? Why don't we go for a truce? In the background, we see a small figure alighting from one of the ships. She looks familiar. It's Hit Girl. And while Diabolos and Wesley Gibson are busy trying to outsmart each other, outtalk each other, in the background, she's stealing the time machine. What? Then we jump 3 days into the past. Arizona, 72 hours earlier. Okay, remember, Edison Crane is the one we kill first. He's brilliant at everything, so we can't take any chances. What about the Chrononauts? Couldn't they just hit a button on their suits and disappear? No, they have to punch in the time they're travelling to. That's going to buy us some crucial seconds. So, can you guess what happens next? Don't want to spoil it, so I'm going to move on. Here we go. You fuckers talk too much. Then we start to revisit some of the scenes from earlier issues. Do you remember this scene? A plane flying over the North Pole. Where the hell is this Huck guy, anyway? I thought the satellite said he was heading this way with that stupid goddamn bear in his backpack. Switch scenes to Philadelphia. We get a discussion about the best way to take out vampire kids. It's the middle of the night, so it's too dark to use sunlight, but hey, how about a swimming pool full of holy water? Then next we're back in Siberia. We see the ambassadors. Remember, they were on a rescue mission to get Pakistan. Get away from our friend, you asshole. And then we get to see Nemesis. Here he is, Nemesis reloaded. Look at the size of that huge sword he's holding there. That is dope. Your powers are all artificially generated, and I've got a friend who can steal them for 5 minutes at a time. Can you guess who he's given them to? Okay, I don't like to do this, but I'm going to stop the main story summary here because if I show the next few pages, it's just going to spoil it. So what I'll do is, if you want to keep watching, I'll give a little glimpse at some of the pages you've got coming up, which won't spoil too much of the story, but they'll just give you an idea of what's to come. And let's see some of the fantastic art by Larraz, which we've seen already, but it just gets better and better as it goes on. Still watching? Okay, here we go. This is just part of a gorgeous double-page spread where you see so many of the Millar characters. If I show the whole page, it's going to spoil part of it, so just look at this. Can you name all the characters? I can't, but they look awesome. Now on this page, I'm getting Battle of the Planets vibes. So you ever seen that old cartoon? The Japanese title is Gatchaman. I know it's not from that, but anyway. And if you look down at the small panel, very, very small, you can see it's Dave from Kick-Ass. Oh my God, this is so exciting. He's not wrong there. Here's just a brief look at some of the incredible, intense action that Pepe Larraz puts pen to paper. Just look at this. Look what's going on here. It's amazing. And then we do catch up with Dave, with Kick-Ass, and guess who else? Remember the Magic Order? Remember Cordelia Moonstone? Well, like many of you guessed in the comments, she and her team definitely have a part to play. But again, no spoilers from me. And then just a really quick glimpse here. Look at this page. Oh my God. Move on. And then I'll skip right ahead here. We do fade to black, but even this is not the end. There's more to come after this. So yeah, I'm going to stop the main story summary here. And there we have it. I do hope you enjoyed that. Do drop me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Here is the variant cover. There's only one, or there's two actually. There's a black and white of the main cover, and there's this by Di Gruan. I love it. Great close-up of one of the really cool characters in the Millar world. So there we go. Do hope you enjoyed my review, and as always, thank you so much for your support. I appreciate you watching this far. If you feel like liking, subscribing, that would absolutely rule. Okay, I hope to see you in a future video. This is Gray from Wakizashi's Teahouse, signing off for the night, going back to read Big Game 5 one more time. Mata ne!